Recording this video is Wednesday, 6th of April 2016. Recording this video at 2:40 p.m. Chicago time before the close of the day. Just want to get this video out. So, hope you had a great trading day today. We had a ripper to the upside, and it was all sparked off of some data from crude oil inventories. And I've got to kind of review that crude oil chart. I'll do that after I finish this video. But remember, I've been pretty bullish on crude. So during the first quarter, we would find a bottom. During the second quarter, we would test that bottom. And during the second half of this year, look for an uptrend in crude. So it'd be interesting to see what's going on those charts. I'll maybe look at those and put that out on the weekend. Anyway, so today's activity, I'm going to continue the theme of this week. So E-mini day trades, and just show you the setups from the multiple time frame indicators and what I was doing. So this is the overnight activity. I'm just showing you this on the, remember there's two views of these charts. So you can look at it in terms of the system view. You can look at it in terms of better pro-am and better momentum with the sine waves, multiple sine waves on. The overnight activity was kind of crazy. So this is the close of yesterday, Tuesday. This is the overnight activity. This is the open on Wednesday. And we broke to new lows at the close of the day, and a whole bunch of blue professional down bars kind of come in here with exhaustion. So be very careful about stuff like that. Towards the very, very close of the day, it's difficult to know directionally what was happening, but you can clearly see they were buying that bottom kind of down there and kind of anxious to get onto it. And then we just ripped to the upside with, I'm not sure why that was such a strong move. There was nothing really kind of open going on, and this happened really quickly after the close of yesterday. But anyway, we ran into trouble because we got to, let me just show you this on the system, pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. The little grey one means that that's an early signal. Pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame here, all happening within underneath this resistance on the highest time frame. And you can see a whole bunch of blue professional bars at the highs here, so you know there's some weakness going on, and we kind of sell off. But clearly that's an important level kind of after yesterday, and coming into the open of today, we've got our exhaustion cells, our bullish divergence, our flush patterns going on here. So you should be looking for long trades. You got that kind of signal in the background, you're looking for setups to go long. So for me, the first little setup that kind of popped up, we had pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, which is that little signal there. Pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, happening at cyclical support. And after we have this exhaustion cell kind of down here, we just took off to the upside. So I jumped on at 37.75. And as soon as we ran into Rambo patterns here, I was out for three. Didn't touch my target at 41.75. But I was a little bit burnt after yesterday when I had a trade that got within quarter point of target, and I ended up losing money on that trade. So as soon as those Rambo signals kind of came in, I jumped out for three and looked for an opportunity to re-enter. As soon as the blue professional bars kind of came in at these lows, I re-entered. Had to sit through a nasty little bit of retrace there. But then on the crude oil inventory numbers, when those came out, we got this big volatility, and I was taken out. I was just looking for two on that trade, and so I had a 3-pointer and then a 2-pointer, and I was done. Very happy with that. Now, I don't know, things have changed in the last 6 months or so. Never used to be such an important number, these kind of crude inventory numbers that kind of come out, but because crude's been so important in terms of driving what's happening in the equities market, it's clearly an important number we need to look out for each time. So that was out at 9:30, and that was what caused this huge amount of volatility. But you can see, because we had this in the background, all these exhaustion cells, bullish divergence, flush patterns, we'd overshot this cyclical support on the highest time frame, and so this one holds really nicely, and you can see the trending system got into this. Even though we had this huge amount of volatility, it keeps it in and says, no, we haven't broken any supports at any of this stage here, so we're still kind of good. And there's the low risk entry point. I mean, you'd have to be a brave person to jump in there. But anyway, that was the lowest entry point. As soon as we're breaking two time frames, lowest and intermediate, with this going on, bang, we got confirmation. And this exhaustion buy is getting the move going. Now, this is the important point I want to talk about today. We have found supports, broken into an uptrend. We're above resistance on the lowest and the intermediate time frame. This thing is going to run pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame because we've broken out of the lowest time frame. We've also broken out at the intermediate time frame, so we've got to see at least pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, and that's that signal there. And then because we're above the highest time frame, we've broken into a trend move here, we've got to see the highest time frame go pullback to end of trend, and there it is, pullback, end of trend, big support, big resistance, and that's the signal there. So that trending move started in the 36s, 38s, broke and ran all the way to the 57s, 58s because of this. And that's what's important. If we're breaking all three time frames, we've got to wait for those pullback to end of trends on this highest time frame. Now, I wish I'd taken all of this, but I was done for the day. Went back to my bed because for me it was 4:30 in the morning. But if you had it in you to hold through all of this, this trending move was not over until we saw that pullback end of trend. Remember the 11 a.m. rule, so here's 11 a.m. During the day. We had not been making like lower highs, showing any weakness at all by that stage. So because 11 a.m. window for reversal has been and gone, we know that we're just going to continue to break higher and higher during the day, and here we go until we get exhaustion buys, bearish divergence, blow off move up here, and it's finding it difficult to get above 57s, 58s. But you know, we've got no signals, we've got no signs of weakness after there yet, so there's no reason. I mean, you shouldn't even thinking about going short this late in the day. This was an up day, sparked off of the crude oil inventory numbers that came out, and this trending move went through all three time frames: low, intermediate breaks, highest time frame breaks, and therefore pull back to end of trend. So there we go. That's a little bit of review. I'm going to be interested to see at the close of the day what my charts look like on the particularly the crude markets, but dollar index and yen and so on. So I'll have a look at those. Hope your trading is going well. Looking forward to Thursday's trade. Okay, just got long 37.75, long 37.75. Just checking my stops and targets. And the reason for getting long, just had first break of resistance. This is for today's open, a little bit of strength, and then double resistance comes in, bang, we kind of push down, but we've got exhaustion sells, bullish divergence going to come in here, which is good, and it's all happened around pullback end of trend on the lowest time frame. It's this little red dark red dot, that's an early signal. That's good. Oh, good. Got pullback end of trend on intermediate time frame. All of that happening around cyclical support on the 4500. So that's a 1, 2, and then 3 is first sign of strength, breaking above resistance. And I was jumping in because we had this little blue professional bars came in on the retrace, kind of explosively buying it up in on the retrace and then breaking out. So we've not had a nice low risk entry point yet, but we're going to have resistance going to come in here on 1500. Anyway, so targets at 41.75. Let's just leave it there for the time being, see what happens. This is going to play in shortly. Alright, there we go, low risk entry point has just come in. So we got 1 with exhaustion, sell bullish divergence, 2 end of trends, 3 first break, 4 low risk entry point. The confirmation will be a break above second time frame, which is up here at 40. So break of 1 time frame, break of 2 will be a dot here above 40. And on that was just a little rainbow pattern. No blue professional bars on 1500, taking profits up here, which is good. That means we've got a good chance of getting through it. So come on, I thought we were just going to bust up from here, but no, we're coming back a fraction. Alright, here we go, we're getting the break, but it's come with a rainbow pattern. Not so sure about that. So my target's 41.75, and we almost got to 40.75, so I'm just going to leave it there. That on that retrace there, that was a blue professional down bar, and then we came above the high of that kind of straight away, which is good. So this will go off, pull back end of trend at some point. We'll have resistance here, so just on this extension, because then we'll have a pullback of some kind. Don't want to be part of that. Okay, just out 40.75, just for 3, which is okay. just having a little bit of trouble. It is actually a triple top wave, which means we probably should be poking through. But I'm just a little bit nervous because we've got pullback into trend syncing up with cyclical resistance at some point on 4,500, and we've got all these Rambo patterns, two up here on 1,500. So a little bit gun shy after one of my trades yesterday where we missed the target by a quarter point and ended up being a loser for me. So I'd rather jump out with 3. So that was okay. This is set up. Exhaustion patterns, first sign of strength, low risk entry point, and we've pushed off into a confirmed uptrend. But we'll have a pullback at some point. I just don't want to be stupid about this. Okay, just gone long 37.75, long 37.75, and I'm just moving my target to 38.75. Last trade was actually also long 37.75. Into this move, got out, didn't get target, got 3 points, but we've kind of come off, and we couldn't break supports on 500. We keep on bouncing off those, but we have broken 15, so we got a little bit of weakness here. But then everything is, we've got exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, and a flush pattern going on here. And blue professional bars coming, and one, oh good, 45, I hadn't seen that one. Excellent. Well, it's probably going to go a little bit further, because it could be jumping on board stuff that's going to go through 40s, but that's okay. I'm just looking for one. Got my 3 on my first trade, so let's just go for a little break above resistance here. Alright, that pushed down a little bit further than I expected, but it has brought in some blue professional bars here on 45, which is good as cyclical turns going to come in. I've actually just moved my target to 39.75. Crazy to keep it at 38 because that'll just be a break above here. We should get a little bit of travel once we break a resistance. So just close to entry again. Just a little bit too early there, so come on. Bingo! Just taken out 39.75. It must be it's 9:30 a.m.'s just gone off. I think there might be some kind of petroleum oil data release. I'll just check that. They didn't used to move the market as much as this, but seemingly they do now. Anyway, so that was good for another 2. Excellent. So the first trade, 3 points, missed target by a quarter point, but that's fine. And then re-entered and picked up another 2, so 5 points, 2 trades, not bad. And 9:30 a.m., so I'm done.